This is a live Channels television event.
The procession for members of the body of benchers has now ended. They are now lined, standing at the lead table, signaling the commencement of proceedings for this call-to-bar ceremony of successful candidates, qualified students to practice law in the country. This ceremony was initially scheduled to begin
Benchers resume their seats.
By the powers conferred on me, as the Secretary of the Honorable Board of Benchers, I call the House to order and welcome Chairman and Honorable Benchers to this unique occasion of the July 2022 Call to Bar ceremonies. May I also take opportunity to felicitate with all parents, guardians, well-wishers, and friends of the applicants who are viewing the live coverage of this Call to Bar ceremony. May I now, with the leave of the Chairman Body of Benchers, call on the Chairman of the Council of Legal Education to step forward to report on the state of readiness of applicants for call. Mr. Chairman, sir.
Benchers' leave is hereby granted as prayed.
Mr. Chairman, sir, the students of Nigerian Law School who have successfully completed their training and passed the bar examinations conducted by the Council of Legal Education are ready for presentation to the body of benchers for call to the bar. May I respectfully, Mr. Chairman, seek leave to call on the Director General of Nigerian Law School to present the report and to summon the applicants for call to appear before the honorable benchers.
Benchers' leave is hereby granted as prayed.
As the chairman pleases.
The chairman of the body of benchers, Chief Wale Olanipekun, OFR, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, live bencher. The vice chairman of body of benchers, Honorable Justice Mary Peter Odili, JSC, CFR, live bencher. The immediate past chairman of distinguished body of benchers, Boderos Variable, JSC, CFR, live bencher. The acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Olukayode Ariola, live bencher. The Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, live bencher. Past Chairman of Distinguished Body of Benchers, the Chairman of Council of Legal Education, Chief Emeka Ngige, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Distinguished and honorable members of the Body of Benchers, Honorable Justices and Grand Caddies here present, the President of the Nigerian Bar Association, Mr. Olumide Akpata, members of the Inner and Outer Bar, distinguished senators, honorable members of House of Representatives, executive governors here present, our royal fathers, proud parents, guardians, and relations, ladies and gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am happy to welcome you all to this solemn and memorable ceremony for the admission to the Nigerian Bar of successful candidates at the May 2022 Bar examination conducted by the Nigerian Law School under the supervision of the Council of Legal Education. I sincerely congratulate all the successful candidates for their hard work and dedication. The just reason of our presence here today. To all the proud parents and relations, I convey warm felicitations on the remarkable success of these candidates, who in a short time will become the new weeks of the Nigerian Bar and proud members of our noble profession. Amidst our joy today, let me bring to our attention a significant area of concern worthy of mention at this auspicious occasion, which is the case of heightened security situation in our dear country, especially around the host cities of our headquarters and campuses. To the glory of God, and as reported in my last year's report to your august body, all the orchestrated fears and rumors of imminent attacks on the Nigerian Law School community never and will never see the light of the day. However, adequate safeguards of all the campuses and headquarters in Buhari, here in the federal capital, have been deployed and reinforced. The invaluable concern and support of the federal government under the leadership of the President, Mr. President Muhammad Buhari, GCFR, has continued to bring great relief and succor to us and to the country at large. I wish to specifically acknowledge the continuous cooperation of the military authorities, in particular the Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff, for their support and advice at all times. The same goes to the Inspector General of Police, Director General State Security Service, Commandant General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Force, their officers and men for their support. Away from the above distractions, let me, on behalf of the Council of Legal Education, management, and staff and students of the Nigerian Law School, invite you all to share in these successes and joy of these candidates we are celebrating today. No doubt, the renewed learning skills, knowledge acquired, and experience by our soon-to-become new weeks bring great joy to the entire Nigerian Law School community. Establishment of the Nigerian Council of Legal Education, Nigerian Law School. The Council of Legal Education was established by Legal Education Act 1962 to provide vocational training for law graduates aspiring to be called to the Nigerian bar. The Nigerian Law School, which is the training arm of the Council of Legal Education, is a multi-campus institution with headquarters in Abuja and campuses in Lagos, Enugu, Kano, Yenagoa, Yola, and the newly established Port Harcourt campus, which is about to commence academic activities. From these locations, we train over 6,000 students annually. Continue progress at the Nigerian Law School. Again, as reported previously, we have continued to leverage from the achievements of our past teachers and leaders towards the Nigerian Law School. Today, the Nigerian Law School has had to sustain its enviable growth and development for nearly 6 decades, to the admiration of many. The importance of Nigerian Law School in manpower training and development for our country cannot be overemphasized, particularly in aspects of administration of justice and sustenance of rule of law. It is crystal clear that from the inception, the Nigerian Law School has been solely responsible for the vocational and practical training of university law graduates for admission to the Nigerian bar. From its humble beginning in 1963 with 8 students at its one-block campus at 213A, Igboshere Road, Lagos, the Nigerian Law School has grown to a 6-campus institution spread across the country with yearly intake of about 6,000 students annually. This is a testimony to healthy astronomical growth of not just of the institution, but also the legal profession. In about 60 years of its existence, the Nigerian Law School has had uninterrupted session, as there has never been any incident of closure of the institution on account of students' unrest, strike action by staff, or any other reason. The Nigerian Law School has contributed to the training of the entire arm of government, that's the judiciary. It is a tribute to the school that all judges of various courts in Nigeria, including the present acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, are products of Nigerian Law School. Likewise, the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, all state attorneys general and commissioners for justice, and law officers serving in their chambers are products of this school. It is also significant to note that a large number of members of other tiers of government in the country are products of the Nigerian Law School. The school has also contributed to the training of the legal manpower of our sister African countries, like the Republic of Gambia, the Republic of Sierra Leone, and the Republic of Cameroon. A number of countries from East and West Africa have visited Nigerian Law School to solicit information and assistance on the establishment and development of law schools in their various countries. The products of this school have commanding presence in other spheres of public and private sector, such as the military, the police, customs, immigration, the oil and gas sector, banking and finance, insurance, and the corporate world in general. Professors, lecturers in various universities and other tertiary institutions. Some of these products have achieved profound feat of getting to the top of their own career, nationally and across the borders. Brief report on the academic excellence and physical infrastructure development of the Nigerian Law School. The Nigerian Law School, under our watch, has witnessed and expressed more positive transformation in the areas of academic, better administrative and physical infrastructure development. Again, and of course, building on the past achievements and legacies. The Nigerian Law School headquarters and campuses have equally witnessed in the period under review new constructions, renovation, and remodeling of many structures and buildings that hitherto continue to suffer serious neglect on account of poor budgetary allocations. It is no longer news that we achieve and still making the difference largely due to the prudent use of very lean resources at our disposal, and through the gracious intervention of good-spirited Nigerians, organizations, and other concerned stakeholders. Major interventions and success stories. Recently, the government of Rivers State, under the leadership of the Executive Governor, His Excellency Nyesom Wike, CON, graciously approved the construction of some critical projects for the inaugural campus of the Nigerian Law School. These projects include: 1, a 1,500 seating capacity auditorium, that's multipurpose hall. 2, 900 bed space male and female students hostel. I'm happy to report this important assemblage that those projects that were flagged up by the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami, SAN, on Friday, 4th of June, 2021, at the Nigerian Law School Inaugural Campus, Bayelsa State, are now at various stages of completion as we speak. We cannot thank His Excellency, the government and good people of Rivers State enough for this proactive and progressive intervention. Kindly recall that in a similar and welcome development, the federal government, on receipt of the kind request from the government of Rivers State to build and equip, as well as hand over a brand new campus of the Nigerian Law School to the Council of Legal Education in the state, granted and conveyed through the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice approval for the establishment of a campus of the Nigerian Law School in Port Harcourt. Latest report from the inspection revealed that the Port Harcourt campus of the Nigerian Law School, built by Rivers State government, has been completed and will soon be commissioned and handed over to the Council of Legal Education at Nigerian Law School. This is indeed gratifying and cause for celebration. We thank most profoundly Mr. President and Governor of Rivers State, as well as the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice, for making this possible. Just recently, precisely on the 30th of June 2022, the class of 1986 of Nigerian Law School commissioned and handed over a brand new ultra-modern twin moot court built by this class to the Nigerian Law School in headquarters in Buhari. As if that was not enough, an illustrious member of that class, His Excellency, the Deputy Senate President, Senator Ovia Omoagege, offered a replicate of what class has done. And on behalf of the class, as we speak, work has commenced at the same location for another phase 2 of this project. Let me also use this medium to thank again and appreciate our other benefactors for their kind interventions and firm belief in the Nigerian Law School renewal project. May God continue to reward all of you for your kind intervention and assistance. Proposed Diamond Jubilee ceremony of the Nigerian Law School. It is no longer news that effective January 2023, by the grace of God, that our premier and only institution with sole mandate of vocational training of law graduates in Nigeria will be 6 years. You will agree with us that this is a great feat and calls for celebration. Pursuant to the above, the Council of Legal Education has proposed a Diamond Jubilee celebration to professionally mark this great achievement. Details of these activities with programs as well as invitations will be communicated to all as soon as possible. Presentation of the May 22 bar examination, final examination result. Mr. Chairman, distinguished members of the body of benchers, I'll be presenting at this call to the ceremony a total of 1,490 candidates who are successful at the May 2022 bar final examination. I am happy to report on the good performance recorded by these candidates, as seen in the executive summary below. Total number of students who participated in the examination, 2,299. Total number of candidates who have passed, 1,490. These figures translate to 65.42% success at the bar final examination. I wish to assure all of you that we shall remain the gatekeepers of our noble profession. As teachers and administrators, we will continue to uphold the standard and integrity of the bar. To the new weeks, I sincerely congratulate our candidates for call to the bar today. I also felicitate with their parents, guardians, and relations on being part of this memorable and auspicious occasion. No doubt, today is a day of great joy for you all, having come this far in realizing your dreams of becoming members of this noble profession of law. My prayer for you all is that the Almighty God will grant you rewarding career at the bar. I enjoin you to make the best use of the legal profession, since it is your own free will to belong to this profession. You must also ensure strict adherence to its norms and ethics. We wish you the best for the future. Sincere appreciation. May I at this time especially seek the leave of the Mr. Chairman and distinguished members of the Body of Benchers to thank our supervisory ministry, the Federal Ministry of Justice, headed by Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malame, for the support always given to us as an institution. The same appreciation goes to Chairman and members of the distinguished Body of Benchers for their constant support and encouragement. I must also mention the Secretary of the distinguished Body of Benchers, headed by the Secretary, Mr. Daniel Taylor Esquire, for his cooperation with us at all times. Finally, with all sense of duty and responsibility, I wish to commend the excellent work ethics of the academic and non-academic members of the Nigerian Law School, who work tirelessly and most time beyond call to duty to ensure that the task of producing legal manpower needs of our country is sufficiently attained. Affirmation of learning and character. Mr. Chairman of the Body of Benchers and distinguished members of the Body of Benchers, may I present to you the aspirants here assembled this morning for call to Nigerian bar. They wish to and are eligible to become members of this learned and noble profession of law. They have successfully completed the vocational training at the Nigerian Law School as prescribed by the Legal Education Act. They have all taken the prescribed examination as well as dining terms and met all the required conditions set by the Council of Legal Education. I am happy to affirm that they all exhibited good manners and decorum during their training at the Nigerian Law School. They have also been groomed in the best ethics and ethos of our noble profession. Together with other academic and non-academic members of staff of Nigerian Law School, I have closely monitored these aspirants during their training. I vote for each and every one of them as men and women of learning and character, as demanded by your august body. The screening committee of your distinguished body has carefully perused the records of each of the aspirants and found them to be worthy to be presented for call to the Nigerian bar. I attest that they are fit and proper persons for call to admission to the Nigerian bar. Mr. Chairman, may I respectfully and in my own honor present to the distinguished body of benchers the following 1,409 applicants for call to the Nigerian bar. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, sir.
Call to the bar. By the powers conferred on the body of benches by Section 3, subsection 1 of the Legal Practitioners Act, and by the powers conferred on me as chairman of the body of benches by Regulation 16 of the Body of Benchers Regulations 1983, I hereby admit each and every one of the 1,490 applicants herein present severally to the bar as barristers and solicitors of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. You may now put on your wigs.
Mr. Chairman, sir, may I respectfully invite you to deliver your address and your charge to the new weeks. Mr. Chairman, sir.
Dear learned friends, can you be seated? The Vice Chairman, Body of Benchers, Honorable Justice Mary Peter Odili, CFR, Life Bencher. The Acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, the Honorable Justice Oluka Odiariwola, Life Bencher. Past Chairman of the Body of Benchers, former Chief Justices of Nigeria, Life Benchers and Benchers, the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Chairman Council of Legal Education, Chief Emeka Ngige, SAN, the President of the Nigerian Bar Association, Olumide Akpata, Esquire, Honorable Judges and Cadis, distinguished members of the National Assembly, Honorable Ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, members of the Inner and Outer Bar, Director General of the Nigerian Law School, Professor Isa Hayatu Shiroma, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Your Royal Highnesses, proud parents and guardians, learned friends, new weeks, ladies and gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is with great delight that I welcome you all to this solemn and momentous occasion of the call of new lawyers to the Nigerian Bar. We thank God for the lives of these new entrants into the noble profession of law. You are indeed very lucky. This is the first time we are conducting call to bar in this hall, Benchers Hall. You are the first set of students from the Nigerian Law School to wear your wigs inside this hall. Can you clap for yourselves? On behalf of the Body of Benchers, I heartily congratulate you for your achievements and realization of your ultimate goal and ambition of becoming lawyers. Undoubtedly, you have labored so hard, through thick and thin, first to bag your degrees at your various universities, and second, to pass your examination at Nigerian Law School. Before the Body of Benchers found you fit and proper to be called to the Nigerian Bar, I am aware you have gone through comprehensive and laborious training at the Nigerian Law School. You have fulfilled all the conditions precedent to being called to the Nigerian Bar. You have dined with benchers on quarterly basis, and you are now familiar with the deep traditions, ethics, cultures, and nuances of the ancient profession of law. All of us who stand here today as distinguished members of the Body of Benchers were once like you. Indeed, during our time, all of us, at different times and years, eagerly look forward to when we will be called to the bar, where the new dawn will break. I'm making reference to our collective past because we knew how happy we were when we were admitted to the bar. Relating this past experience to yours today, I can't appreciate how excited, happy, exhilarated you and your parents, guardians, and relations are on this epoch-making day of yours. It is the ambition of parents to have their children succeed in life. It's also the joy of parents to see their children realizing their life ambitions in their chosen endeavors. In this regard, we, members of the Body of Benchers, who are also parents, can appreciate how thrilled and joyful the parents and guardians gathered here this morning are, or this afternoon. I share in your joy and excitement. And sincerely, I congratulate you, all the parents, guardians, friends, and well-wishers of the new weeks who have come to witness this new dawn. I pray that your joy over these children and words of yours, who are now our latter friends, shall be permanent. By the authority vested in me as the chairman of the Body of Benchers, I have already pronounced your call to the bar. and beckoned on you to adorn your wigs. By this singular act, you have become full-fledged members of the legal profession. You have been admitted to the Nigerian bar to practice law as barristers and solicitors of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. When you were in the law school and were dining with you as benchers, you were being addressed as lawyers in equity. Henceforth, you have become lawyers in practical terms, in the real sense of it. For every one of us in the legal profession, it is now incumbent on us to address you from now as learned friends, particularly when we meet in court. Arising from the foregoing, it is also necessary to briefly highlight some of the salient features and backgrounds of the legal profession. But before I proceed to the historical evolution of the legal profession in Nigeria, may I pause here to appreciate the Director General of the Nigerian Law School, Professor Isa Hayatu Shiroma, the management and teaching staff of the law school for a very thorough and good job done on all of you in the past 1 year, both academically and ethically. May I also appreciate the chairman of the Council of Legal Education, our learned friend of the Inaba, Ikemba Ngige, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. We appreciate you. Historical evolution of the legal profession in Nigeria. While the legal profession is old and ancient, almost as old and ancient as the creation of man, the first Nigerian lawyer was Christopher Chakwara Williams, 1855 to 1915. He was admitted to the Nigerian bar in 1880. To him is credited this evergreen statement regarding the bonding duty of a lawyer, and I quote him: "A lawyer lives for the direction of his people and the advancement of the cause of his country." In practical terms, the legal profession in Nigeria took its bearing from 1880, when this great potentate was called to the bar, and that was why in 1980, the legal profession celebrated its centenary in Nigeria, translating to the fact that today the profession is 152 years old. The particularity of this profound advocacy of Chakwara Williams defined our jurisprudence in the early days, as he deployed his professional proficiency for the advancement of law and the cause of the people. He did not just propound ameliorative concepts and ideologies that will ultimately lead to the liberation of his people. He actively partook in and influenced the system. In the process, he led other great pioneer advocates such as Kitoye Ajasa, Egerton Chingle in very topical cases. He shared the Nigerian bar from 1900 till he passed in 1915, mobilizing and galvanizing the association and constantly checking on the excesses of the British colonialists. By doing so, he set the stage for the Nigerian bar to be appreciated by all and sundry as the voice of the people and conscience of the nation. Right to practice law. Having been called to the Nigerian bar today, we have to enroll at the Supreme Court immediately hereafter, so that your name will be entered into the roll of lawyers in Nigeria. Failure to enroll is fatal to your chances of practicing, regardless of your certificates and call to the bar, as enrollment is a condition precedent to your practice as barrister and solicitor, or solicitor. Since you are going to be a barrister or solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, let it be noted, Section 2, Subsection 1 of the Legal Practitioners Act provides that, and I quote, "Subject to the provisions of this Act, a person shall be entitled to practice as a barrister and solicitor if," and the law repeats, "and only if his name is on the roll." Now, the body of benchers. Section 3, Subsection 1 of the Legal Practitioners Act, which establishes the body of benchers, provides, and I quote, there shall be a body of legal practitioners of the highest distinction in the legal profession in Nigeria, to be known as the body of benchers, which shall be responsible for performing the functions and duties imposed upon it under this Act. The Act makes no pretense about the fact that the body is constituted of legal practitioners of the highest distinction in the legal profession in Nigeria. It is the prerogative of the body of benchers to admit you to the bar. While you were in the law school, distinguished members of the body of benchers had signed your application forms, recommending you to the body itself to be called to the bar. The screening committee of the body, under the chairmanship of the vice chairman, had painstakingly screened each and every one of you looking into the details of all your forms and particulars before recommending you to the body to be admitted to the bar. At a special meeting of the body held on 26 July 2022, yesterday, your applications were considered alongside the recommendations of the screening committee, and the body decided that you should be called to the bar. I've gone through these narratives in order to remind you of the preeminent position of the body of benchers in the life and career of any legal practitioner in Nigeria. Legal Practitioners Dictionary Committee. As stated above, the Legal Practitioners Dictionary Committee is a committee of the body of benchers, saddled with the responsibility of disciplining any legal practitioner in Nigeria, where his or her conduct amounts to infamous conduct in professional respect, in violation of the rules of professional conduct for legal practitioners in Nigeria. Over the years, the LPDC has continued to operate as an independent arbiter, enjoying absolute independence in the course of carrying out its assignment. The body of benchers does not and will not interfere with any of the proceedings or outcome of all proceedings before the LPDC. It is important to point out that the LPDC is not an avenue for dealing with perceived enemies or ventilation of grievances against fellow lawyers on personal issues. The decision of the LPDC is known as direction, and any appeal against that direction goes directly to the Supreme Court and not to the body of benchers. Rules of professional conduct in the legal profession admonish you all to carefully and soberly go through the provisions of the rules of professional conduct in the legal profession, as the rules regulate all your conduct, be it as a practicing lawyer in private legal practice, or in any of our various ministries of justice, or as a solicitor, working in any private establishment, institution, company, organization, or body. You should not assume that the rules are meant to regulate and control legal practitioners in what is commonly known as active legal practice or the private bar. Adherence to the rules is also a condition precedent to your success at the bar and the legal profession. May I plead with you, as you join the bar, to always strive at being an added value to the nobility, to the honor, to the dignity and respect of the profession, rather than coming to deplete and discount the established virtues the profession has stood for over the years. Menace of forum shopping. You are no doubt aware of the disturbing trend of forum shopping in Nigeria, a very reprehensive conduct introduced to the practice of law recently, whereby litigants and legal practitioners stop for friendly venues and judices to file and litigate otherwise frivolous and questionable causes, purportedly arising out of the jurisdictions where the actions are eventually filed, pursued and prosecuted. This ugly practice is permeating the entire Nigerian landscape, leading to the shunning out on a regular basis of conflicting orders and decisions, of course of coordinate jurisdictions. As a result of these as well, the legal profession is being brought to disrepute and opprobrium, leading to tirades, venoms, and very uncomplimentary remarks and sentences being passed on the legal profession and some of our judges. Be informed that the body of benchers, by virtue of the powers conferred on it by Section 10(1)(c) of the Legal Practitioners Act, has now set up a regulations committee empowered to make regulations for the decent practice of law in Nigeria. The committee has submitted a draft regulations to the body of benchers, and the regulations, when approved, will become binding on all legal practitioners who will be restricted to initiating and filing causes and matters where the said causes of action arise as provided by the rules of the adjudicating courts, just as it is provided under the matrimonial causes rules. Lawyers will be required to sign and file certain forms and documents indicating compliance with the regulations before filing any originating process at trial courts. Any infraction or breach of the regulations will amount to professional misconduct. Respect to the court and colleagues. Again, the rules of professional conduct for legal practitioners make it mandatory for lawyers to show respect and courtesy to the courts, irrespective of the grade of the court or the age of the presiding judge or magistrate. In like manner, the bench is enjoined to extend courtesies and respect to the bar at all times. However, Under no circumstance should any lawyer or legal practitioner be rude to the court or making uncomplimentary remarks against any judex while inside the courtroom. And this admonition is sent to comments made as Fashe Courier A. Regarding your relationship with your colleagues, it is equally important that you extend courtesies to your colleagues at the bar, irrespective of age or sex, and notwithstanding the subject matter of litigation. All over the world, lawyers describe themselves as learned friends, and not learned enemies, learned foes, or learned adversaries. Whatever might be the exigencies of any particular moment or particularity of any brief, always bear in mind that this time shall pass. Mentoring. Mentoring in the legal profession is also as ancient or old as the profession itself. I dare say that mentoring applies to all professions, vocations, and trades. But it is also desirable that you submit yourselves to mentorship under able, capable, experienced, and tested hands in the profession. Starting on your own without going through any mentor is even against the rule of nature. Have you ever seen any professional or any profession that you don't learn? You have to be mentored. It's only grave diggers who start from the top. And what do? They bury people. Do not make it a trial by error voyage. Rather, strive to learn under an identified master. Most of us here on the distinguished body of benchers had our mentors who acted as our guidance and through whose portals we emerged. Information and communication technology, otherwise known as ICT. No doubt, technology has become a part and parcel of our daily activities. The legal profession is not left out in maximizing the benefits of ITC. Legal research, drafting, and referencing have been made relatively easy with the aid of online search engines and software. A lawyer can operate remotely using the ICT device, which could grant quick access to relevant information whenever the need arises. Therefore, I implore you, as you begin your journey in this profession, to take advantage of ICT. Dwindling fortunes of the legal profession. As at now, the numerical strength of legal practitioners in Nigeria is conservatively put at 106,910. A school of thought believes that Nigeria is overproducing lawyers, bearing in mind the economic downturn and the scarce employment opportunities available for the thousands of lawyers being produced on a yearly basis. You heard the Director General saying that every year, minimum 6,000 lawyers are produced. Be that as it may, I counsel that you should not be dismayed. Do not be discouraged. Do not be discomforted. Do not be disillusioned. And do not be disoriented by this sarcasm. I call it sarcasm. Rather, be focused, steadfast, diligent, industrious, devoted, and prayerful. Do not join the Joneses and never do anything, either criminal or untoward, that will mar your integrity or reputation. Rome was not built in a day. So the old adage goes. No lawyer, however brilliant, has ever made it in a day. Learn how to crawl before you walk. The legal profession is not a 100-meter dash. It is not a short journey or sprint. Rather, it is a long-distance run. You will surely get to a successful destination and birth at a dignified and honorable port in no distant future. Conclusion. You should note and bear in mind that the legal profession provides ample opportunities for you to diversify and specialize. In this wise, do not rest on your oars. It is not for fun that the profession is always described as a learned profession. Strive to learn on a daily basis. Be an avid reader of all literatures, in and out of law, in and outside law. Do not restrict or delimit yourselves in your search and thirst for knowledge. Update yourselves with knowledge and be abreast with contemporary issues and events, both nationally and globally. Do not go about introducing yourselves as lawyers, baristas, or solicitors. Barrister X, Solicitor X. Simply you say Mr. or Esquire. Rather, let your knowledge, counsel, input, and output speak for you. I want to seriously advise you not to join the teeming tribe of lawyers who always choose to address the court outside the court. That is, counsel who choose to play to the gallery after leaving the courtroom by making submissions which ought to have been made inside the courtroom, either before a crowd or any other motley assembly. These escurial submissions diminish the status of the profession. I do not speak well of counsel, whether of the outer or inner bar. They ought to celebrate your new achievement by being called to the bar, will always be there today, and even the next few days. But make your celebration modest, decent, unlike what we witnessed 2 years back. Do not put on your bib and gown while dancing in a clubhouse, and at the same time engaging in debaucheries. Lastly, in and out of court, be a decent dresser, as your dress depicts your person. Once again, I extend my hearty congratulations to all of you and take the liberty as the chairman of the body of benchers to address you all as my learned friends. Among you today, it is my prophecy that in the near future, we sprout Chief Justices of Nigeria, Justices of the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal, judges of various high courts, chairmen and members of the body of benchers, attorneys general of the respective states, legal secretaries, advisors, directors, and counsel to multinationals, presidents and governors of respective states. Or you don't want to be president? You don't want to be governor? Ladies who want to be governors, let them raise up their hands. Members of the national and state assemblies, captains of industries and statesmen that God will use to foster the renaissance of our dear country, Nigeria. But I shall do further, that when you get there, do not envy, for envy is sin. Rather, appreciate those amongst you who are doing well, rather than trying to pull them down. In other words, do not get enrolled in either a PhD course or school. And by PhD, I mean pull him or her down. Honor and respect your seniors. And when you attain high offices, extend courtesies and respect to your seniors and predecessors in office. Do not run them down or speak ill of them. I pray that in due season, when God elevates each and every one of you, and you become the sinus of eyes, may no power, principality, or blackmailer be able to bring you down. Above all, and irrespective of time and seasons, of life and harshness of any economy, you shall all succeed and prosper more than all of us who are sitting here. Earlier in this address, I've referenced the charge of our great forebear, Christopher Chepara Williams. Reiterating that charge, I call upon you to dedicate your life and profession for the direction of our people and the advancement of our nation. Endeavor to keep to this charge in and out of court. Can you now be upstanding for the chairman's charge? In keeping with the time-honored tradition, I, as the chairman of the body of benchers, will now close this address with a charge to our dearly newly called learned friends thus. You may now go forth in your new wigs from this day forward to serve Nigeria and serve humanity in justice without fear of favor, affection, or ill will. Resume your seats. Resume your seats. I thank you for listening. May the Almighty God keep and bless all of you and take you back safely to your individual and respective destinations. God bless you.
By the order of the body of benchers, I now declare this call to burst. Order of recess will be as follows, but take note that all the new weeks you are expected to proceed to the Supreme Court for enrollment, please. The order of recess shall be as follows after the national anthem. The chairman and benchers first, followed by the academic and professional staff of the Nigerian Law School, while the new weeks file out last. Thank you, and God bless you all. Shall we all rise for the national anthem, please?